חנוכה, חנוכה, חג יפה כל כך, אור חביב מסביב, גילי ילד רך. חנוכה, חנוכה, סביבן סוף סוף, סוף סוף סוף, סוף סוף סוף, מה נעים וטוב. חנוכה, חנוכה, חג יפה כל כך, אור חביב מסביב, גילי ילד רך. חנוכה, חנוכה, סביבן סוף סוף, סוף סוף סוף, סוף סוף סוף, מה נעים וטוב. Where's your instruments? חנוכה, חנוכה, חג יפה כל כך, אור חביב מסביב, גילי ילד רך. חנוכה, חנוכה, סביבן סוף סוף, סוף סוף סוף, סוף סוף סוף, מה נעים וטוב. Last time. חנוכה, חנוכה, חג יפה כל כך, אור חביב מסביב, גילי ילד רך. חנוכה, חנוכה, סביבן סוף סוף, סוף סוף סוף, סוף סוף סוף, מה נעים וטוב.
You did it. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Kids, why don't you come on forward and sit with your parents for the beginning of the service? That is our dance area, but we're not quite ready for dancing yet. For those who are here and for those at home, for those who are at home, you know it's Hanukkah because Kathy and I have our Hanukkah masks. And I have my Temple Israel gift shop Hanukkah tie, as some of you are also. I've seen a number of other people. We're all wearing our Hanukkah gear. For those who are here, we have you can see that we have our menorah out and our kids here to help celebrate Hanukkah and Shabbat. There are instruments and there are flashlights. The flashlights are for the end of the service, as we'll add light into our room. And the instruments are for the entirety of the service. We are using prayer books this evening if you would like. Or on Rock Shabbat, we like to say you can sit back or perhaps even stand up and dance. As Fred is where's Fred? Fred's our dance instructor, and so he'll be leading us in all of our dances, so please follow along with him. You'll notice that there's a section of groupies that always sit with Fred. So we want tonight to be a night to enjoy Hanukkah, a night to enjoy Shabbat, a night to sing, a night to dance, a night that adds light to the world and that adds joy into our lives. And so we'll start by lighting our Hanukkah. followed by our candle blessings for Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavoteinu, bayamim ha'im, ba'azman hazeh. Amen.
We join together in our candle blessing over our Shabbat candles now.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And so we'll begin our Hanukkah Shabbat service. We encourage you to sing and dance along. We're thrilled to be able to celebrate Hanukkah with everybody. Given that our kids are here, we might ask the question, who has gotten presents this year? But I think the better question is, for kids especially, who here has bought presents this year? The kids are still raising their hands. Well done. Your parents raised you well if you bought each other presents. So we hope everybody's had a joyous Hanukkah, been able to celebrate in all the ways that we do. And we'll start page 22 as our rock.
Page 12.
Sorry, page 12. See, it's not helpful. Page 12 in our prayer books, L'chu Neranana, followed by L'chadodi, page 20. We're thrilled to have our Rock Shabbat band back. Please join in with us, sing, dance, play your instruments as we welcome in Shabbat and Hanukkah.
L'chu neranana, l'chu neranana, l'chu neranana, l'Adonai. L'chu neranana, l'chu neranana, l'chu neranana, l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, Yitzur Yishenu, Tekadma Bana Batoda. Naria, Naria, Yitzur Yishenu, Biz Mirot, Naria Lo. L'chu neranana, l'chu neranana, l'chu neranana, l'Adonai. L'chu neranana, l'chu neranana, l'chu neranana, l'Adonai. L'chu neranana, l'chu neranana, l'chu neranana, l'Adonai. L'chu neranana, l'chu neranana, l'chu neranana, l'Adonai.
Page 20 in our prayer books, we walk back through our week. We think about where we were before Hanukkah began. As Shabbat ended last week and we entered into Hanukkah, all these days, what have we done as we counted this week, adding light to our Hanukkiot, and hopefully adding light to our lives as well. Page 20, we walk through our week, the words of L'chadodi, as we bring Shabbat into the sanctuary and into our lives.
Ya la 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 l'chadodi, ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 la, Pnei Shabbat, Pnei Shabbat, nekabela. sanctuary. Shake it. La 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 chadodi, la 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 krakala, la 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 panei Shabbat neka, bella. Ya la 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 chadodi, ya la 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 krakala, ya la 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 panei Shabbat neka, bella. Shamor v'zachar b'dibur echad, hishmi anu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'lit hilah. Ya la 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 chadodi, ya la 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 krakala, ya la 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 panei Shabbat neka, bella. Ya la 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 chadodi, ya la 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 krakala, ya la 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 panei Shabbat neka, bella. Hitorari, hitorari, kuri uri, shidaberi, uri uri, and shidaberi. Kevod Adonai, halayich nikla. La 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 chadodi, ya la 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 krakala, ya la 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 panei Shabbat neka, bella. Ya la 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 chadodi, ya la 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 krakala, ya la 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 panei Shabbat neka, bella. Please rise and face the entrance to your home or to our sanctuary. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simecha, u'v'zachola, toch emuni, am sagula, boi chala, boi chala. Ya la 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 chadodi, ya la 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 krakala, ya la 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 panei Shabbat neka, bella. Ya la 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 chadodi, ya la 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 krakala, ya la 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 panei Shabbat neka, bella. One more time. Ya la 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 chadodi, ya la 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 krakala, ya la 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 panei Shabbat neka, bella.
Page 28, we stay standing for our Baruch Hu as we welcome in this evening. We begin our formal prayers, page 28.
Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Vaed HaMevorach HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
As the days get darker, as the days are shorter at this time of year, as it's cold outside, it is so easy to become reclusive, to not look out and see what is happening in the world, and sometimes, as we've seen too often, as we saw this past week in Michigan, I'm not referring to a football game, we look out at the world and it is not what we want to see. And yet, we are told we are to open up our eyes to find ways to move from this moment to the next with blessing. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. We're told to enter into the darker parts of the day and to bring light. And so we pray that we open up our eyes now as we turn towards our Shema. Open up our eyes to the world.
Literally.
Yeah.
Thank you. Open up our eyes. Teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes. Teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes. Teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one, and we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Invite everybody to be seated, as it's our great honor to invite Braden Sheridan, who will be bar mitzvah tomorrow morning and be our leader and our teacher, to come lead us in our Via Hafta. It's found in our prayer books, page 36. Just give Braden a second to get up here, but he has very long legs, so it takes him less time than most of us. Et Adonai. Yeah.
Hecha b'chol
לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך
היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובששתך ובקומך וקשרתם לעוד על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים.
Ani Adonai Elohechem. Please join me responsively, page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered, and at Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. And though our failings are many and our faults are great, it's been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
And dancing. They danced. So please, stand up and dance. Here we go. Feel free to stand up and dance. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh, nora tehilot oseh pele, nora tehilot oseh pele. Malachutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe. Ze Elianu ve'amaru, ze Elianu ve'amaru. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh, nora tehilot oseh pele, nora tehilot oseh pele. Stay standing. This is another fun one. Justin on sax. Yismeku v'malachutecha, shomri, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Yismeku v'malachutecha, shomri, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Shabbat, Yismechu v'malachut, shomri, 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 Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, your mic's off. Shomri, shomri, Shabbat v'korei, oneg Shabbat. V'hashvir v'tzitavo, v'tzitavo v'kidasho Shabbat. Shabbat
We're going to invite all the kids to come back and sit with their parents once again. If all the kids in the back will come sit down with your parents. We like to be near our parents, especially for Hashkivenu is not our prayer to dance to, although we won't keep you from doing that. It's our prayer to reach out to those who are closest to us, to remind each other that as night goes to evening, as the seasons turn darker, that we come close as a community, we come close to those we love. We trust in the hands of parents and the hands of children as we pray that there be love and understanding in the forefronts of our minds, that peace and friendship become our shelter, that God help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we can find in this evening a sense of peace, so that tomorrow we wake up rejuvenated, ready to do godly work, ready to add to our world. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukkot shalom. May a sukkah of peace find its way over all of those we love and over this community. Ve'al kol amo Yisrael, over the people of Israel. Ve'al Yerushalayim, over Jerusalem and over our world. Hashkivenu, page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu Shomrinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu Shomrinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomrinu l'chaim. Ushma satenu Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomrinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomrinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu Shomrinu l'chaim Hamidenu Shomrinu l'chaim.
Page 46, we turn to our most personal prayers, our Amidah. As we prepare to reach back into the centuries and generations of our people, recalling the names of Abraham and Sarah, of Isaac and Rebekah, of Jacob and Rachel and Leah, and so too thinking back upon those in our own families who eventually have led us to be in this place as one community together. And as we'll seal our Amidah, as we always do, with our own prayers, our words for this moment, the words that we write ourselves, we'll seal them also with the words of peace. Page 46. Please join us as we rise.
Na 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 Adonai. Ananana tzvatai tiftach. Ananana ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ananana Adonai. Ananana tzvatai tiftach. Ananana ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ananana Adonai. Ananana tzvatai tiftach. Ananana ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ananana Adonai. Ananana tzvatai tiftach. Ananana ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ananana Adonai. Ananana tzvatai tiftach. Ananana ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Come on. Ananana Adonai. Ananana tzvatai tiftach. Ananana ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ananana Adonai. Ananana tzvatai tiftach. Ananana ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, Elayon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'kanei Hakol, V'zocher chasdei avot ve'imahot, U'mevi geula livnei v'neihem, Lama'an shemo be'ahava, Melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem. Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim berofech holim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melech, melech mimit umechaye, umatmiak Yeshua v'ne'emanat al ha'ayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol.
Please be seated. Modim anachnu lach. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, for wonder beyond words, for the awareness of our soul, the light that comes from within, for the world around us filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer our thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ha'olucha na'eh lehodot. We turn to page 60. Shalom Rav, our prayer that the violence that we've seen this week, the violence we've seen in weeks prior, come to an end overwhelmingly with a Shalom Rav, an overwhelming sense of peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha ve'yakol yoshvei tevel. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha ta'asim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha ve'yakol yoshvei tevel. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha ta'asim le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon lecha hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lecha hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha ve'yakol yoshvei tevel. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha ta'asim le'olam. V'tov benecha levarich itamcha Yisrael b'chol it u'b'chol shah b'shlomecha. Egan on piano, Zach on bass, Rob on drums, and Justin on saxophone. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha ve'yakol yoshvei tevel. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha ta'asim le'olam. Ta'asim le'olam.
Take a moment for our own prayers to add our own words to the end of our Amidah.
Ose shalom bimrama, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru Shalom bimrama, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru ami. Here we go. La 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 la. Shalom bimrama, huyas shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Ho, hey, la 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 la. Shalom bimrama, huyas shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen.
Page 253, we move from words of peace to words to offer peace to those who are in need of healing at this time. Page 253, Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha L'Yimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
If there are names you'd like to share, please share them aloud as we look around the room.
Noah Fromson.
Ken Regal, Laura Hood, Howard Flock, and Helen Sood.
Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha L'Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with Rabbua Shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
I want to invite our children to be a prop for me for a moment. So if you're kids under 5th grade and younger, come sit up front. We can judge that by maturity level too. So if you feel as though your maturity never went past 5th grade, you're welcome to watch the chords there. Just sit right there. Stop, right there. Perfect. Well done. So I had one of the greatest honors I've ever had earlier today, which is I got to go to a classroom of students that looked just like this, nicely spaced out in their classroom. Because I got to visit my son Ezra. Ezra, stand up. Wave to everybody. A lot of people haven't seen how much you've grown in 2.5 years. So I got to go to Ezra's class, and he wore that coat all day long. I can attest to you. You can sit down now. No, you can take it off now. Thank you. I got to go to his class because his teacher invited me to talk about Hanukkah. So I know there are many other parents here who have been invited to their children's classrooms to talk about Hanukkah, and I can tell you that the report was, thank you, Rabbi, very much. It was really wonderful for you to talk about Hanukkah, but the last person brought latkes. So for those of you who go to the classrooms, please bring a snack. But I told the students 3 stories of Hanukkah, and they had a major decision to make, which was, which is the best story of Hanukkah? And so here are the 3 stories. The first story is the story of the Maccabees, the story of a people who were tired of King Antiochus, who had been pushing them around, taken over their temple, and was worshiping idols, put the statue of Zeus in the midst of the temple. And the Maccabees get tired of it, and they fight back. And so the first story is a story of physical strength and rebellion. It's a great story. We love it when the underdog wins. The second story, which is really part of the first, is that after the battle, in the destroyed temple from the battle, they find that little bit of oil. And the oil lasts how long? Very good, right? And so the second story is a story of perseverance, of being able to be patient and watch and hope that the oil will last and to believe that miracles can happen. The second story is a story of strength of mind, to be able to wait. The third story, which we don't often tell, we have told it here before, but we don't often tell it, is the story of a group of Israelites who were held captive and missed the holiday of Sukkot. And they loved the holiday of Sukkot, because why wouldn't you love the holiday of Sukkot? You get to sit in your sukkah and eat all of the foods from the harvest and celebrate with all of the people you love, but because they had been held captive, they didn't get to celebrate Sukkot, but they were freed during the darkest days of the year. And the very first thing they wanted to do was celebrate 8 days of this beautiful festival, but it was dark out, so they lit lights and they made a festival of lights. 3 stories of Hanukkah. And the kids voted almost unanimously. There was one holdout. It was not my son. But 95% of the kids voted for the third story. And I want to tell you why I think they're right. Because this year, perhaps more than others, as we celebrate Hanukkah, we're celebrating not the strength of muscles and not the strength of our mind, while those are all important. We've had patience. Perhaps we've run out of our patience. And we've found that the strength of our muscles cannot solve every problem. But those people who celebrated the Festival of Lights when they weren't allowed to showed a strength of spirit. And some of you were part of our PJ Library Hanukkah lighting that I know Erin Katz. Erin can raise your hand. We can highlight Erin. Thank her for pulling together our PJ Library kids. And Jen Chestnut shared one of the great facts about Hanukkah, which is there was a great debate as to whether we should light all of the Hanukkah candles on the first night and decrease it every night by 1 until eventually there's no light left. Or we should light 1 candle every night and increase the light every day of Hanukkah. And of course, the person, Hillel, who said we should increase light 1, because that's how we do it, right? On the first night, we light just a few candles, and then by the end of Hanukkah, the whole Hanukkah is lit. But the reason is because we believe that in order for something to be sacred, in order for something to be holy, we have to work at it. We have to add a little bit every day. It doesn't just happen all of a sudden. It takes a strength of spirit. It takes our ability. It takes 8 days. Thank you. And so we have to look at our spirit in the same way that we look at our muscles and in the same way that we look at our mind. We exercise to build our muscles not just once, hopefully, but many, many times. We go to school not just once, but day after day after day to make our minds strong. And so too, Hanukkah is trying to tell us this year, I believe, that our spirit needs to have that daily practice in order for it to be full. And so we'll share in this song. We invite our kids to stand. You guys can help lead us in maybe a little ruach, a little spirit, as yeah. So we're gonna hear the words of the Haftarah that Braden is going to read tomorrow, which, like the message of Hanukkah this year, it's not by our strength, it's not by the might of our minds, it's by our spirit that we find ourselves to be strong this year. So, kids, you can help teach everybody here how to dance, because I know you know how to dance, as we listen to our Shabbat band, and they'll share the words of tomorrow's Haftarah that Braden, for all those who join us tomorrow morning, you'll hear Braden share it as well.
So I have one job for you all, okay?
Back up
when we
off
sing
the
the
steps a
word
little bit.
spirit, you're going to say ruach. Can you say ruach? Ruach. So when I sing spirit alone, you say ruach. Try that. Ruach. Okay, here we go. That's your cue. Listen for that word. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone, ruach, shall we all live in peace. That was a dry run. We're going to try that again. Here we go. Ready? All right, one more time. Here we go. Don't forget, ruach. Here we go. One more time. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone, ruach, shall we all live in peace. Not by might and not by power, but by spirit alone, ruach, shall we all live in peace.
All right, now turn around and teach all the parents how to do it, because they've been watching you.
The children sing, the children dream, and their tears may fall, but we'll hear them call, and another song will rise. Stand taller, another song will rise. On your tippy toes, another song will rise.
All right, here's your turn. Not by might and not by power,
but by spirit alone, ruach, shall we all live in peace. Not by might, not by power. Sing shalom, shalom. Awesome job.
All right, you can go back to your seats as we all stand now, page 282, as we begin to conclude our service, first with the words of Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tekadu la liotzer v'reishit, shelo asanu kugoye haratzot, v'lo samanu kumishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechahamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'nem V'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Please be seated as our thoughts turn to those who've departed this earth. Our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. We remember them as we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We continue to offer our condolences to the many families in our community who have lost people in these past 30 days. families of Helen Siegel, Stanford Regal, Jerry Reven, Christina Hoffman, Lisi Calderon, Henry Zuchenga, and Gerard Didi. We add the names of those that we've lost at this season in years past to theirs: Vera Baer, Marin Schweibel-Bean, Dr. Millard Beyer, William J. Blumenstein, Melvin Cohen, Morris Flingner, Sandra Rosenthal Frank, Bessie Friedman, Milton M. Frost, Joseph C. Gordon, Gaston G. Gross, Julie Hagan, Mildred Handler, George Holtzel, Harry Hollab, Rena Jaffa, Carl Katz, Ruth Kodish, Marion Kucherman, Rose Henkin Cooperman, Shirley Letterman, Ann Light, Mo Light, Raleigh Marks, Martin Meltzer, Edna Miller, Iz Moses, Harry Rierick, Lottie Reeder, Shirley Reiser, Herman Ragovi, Herbert Maxwell Rosenblatt, Seymour Rosenblatt, Mary Schott, Louis Schwartz, Samuel Scheftel, Richard Schein, Kenneth Allen Silver, Joseph Tzvi Singer, Edward Whitelaw, Dr. Robert Waldman, Adam Wolf, and Bernie Wallner. If there are names I mispronounced or names you'd like to add, please share them. Yep. We rise, page 294, as we share in the words of Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Kadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach Yurtei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Bagala uv'izman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei almaya, Yit barak v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh, v'yit adar v'yit alev v'yit halal Shmei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Chush b'chata v'nechamata, Damiran bi'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. It's our honor to invite the Sheridan. Please remain standing. We'll invite the Sheridans forward. As we begin to celebrate B'nai Mitzvah once again, we are thrilled to be able to gather our community to bless each other, but especially Braden, to bless you and your family with the words of the priests as you become our teacher, our leader, our Torah reader tomorrow, and a bar mitzvah. And so we connect with each other as we connect with this family on this night and this Shabbat. We offer the words of the priests. May God bless you and keep you. May God's presence be with you and be gracious unto you. As you continue to grow, as we continue to teach each other, may we find that great blessing of learning together, of growing together, is a sign of God, and that it brings a sense of peace to all of us as we say.
Amen.
We'll invite the Sheridans to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. If you'll raise the glass there, please join with us. Remain standing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodesho b'ahava uvratzon hinkilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lamikraye kodesh, zecher letziad Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'charta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
L'chaim, you can take a sip if you'd like. And then, Ella, you want to hold up the challah for us? Can you uncover the challah?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom. We can be seated. We'll invite Elaine Newman, one of our co-presidents, to share announcements with us. Yeah, that's fine. Well done. Now you're fully ready.
Shabbat Shalom, Happy Hanukkah. Thank you to the Rock Shabbat Band, Kenner Kathy. Jewish-Muslim Dialogue will be on Zoom December 9th at 7 p.m. Junior Congregation is next Friday the 10th at 6:15. And then you can meet Sisterhood downtown for an evening tour of the Akron Art Museum on Thursday, December 16th. Campership funds are due by January 10th, 2022. We're almost there. The Horowitz Campership Fund can help defray a third of a family's financial responsibility of sending a child to camp, so remember that fund. And please take a donut on your way out from our Goneg table. Shabbat Shalom.
So we're going to invite our kids forward one more time if everybody will stand. We're going to add light to the room. Kids with flashlights, come on forward. Carefully, don't knock the camera. We're going to dim our lights. Close with O Hanukkah, O Hanukkah. We thank our band once again, Rob, Zach, Justin, and Egan. You can dance right in the front as we'll dim the lights, and we want you to add and increase light by adding light to our ceiling.
Chanukah, Chanukah, Chag Yafeh Kol Kach, Or Chaviv Misaviv, Gilei Yeled Rach. Chanukah, Chanukah, Sevivan Sav Sav, Sav Sav Sav, Sav Sav Sav, Manaim Vatav. Chanukah, Chanukah, Chag Yafeh Kol Kach, Or Chaviv Misaviv, Gilei Yeled Rach. Chanukah, Chanukah, Sevivan Sav Sav, Sav Sav Sav, Sav Sav Sav, Manaim Vatav. Happy Hanukkah, Shabbat Shalom, everybody.